Well, a very good morning and thank you very much for joining us. It is the 23rd day of the month of September 2019. We are glad that you are watching GBS TV, where we give you viewing beyond the limit. This is GBS Morning Extra. To keep the conversation going, of course, let us do that on our Twitter handle. That's hashtag GBS Morning Extra. Now, as it is a Monday, we are going to discuss matters politics. Of course, I'm going to be joined later on by a panelist who is going to help us do that. But before we do that, let's first start with the first things. President Uhuru Kenyatta has urged the Singaporean government to start direct flights to Nairobi, urging it that this is the gateway to the rest of Africa. The president also encouraged trade and investment between the two nations.
I today invite you to use Kenya as a gateway to the African continent. This is not only one of the top 10 fastest growing economies on the African continent, but it is also one of the most pro-business nations in that continent. Our country has improved dramatically in the World Bank's Ease of Doing Business Index, jumping 107 places from our 2012 position to our present position of number 61 globally and third on the African continent. Kenya is also the leading country in sub-Saharan Africa in terms of ICT and technology penetration, fintech and financial inclusion, with our mobile cellular subscription currently standing at 95% of our population of more than 45 million. Kenya has learned to leverage on our strength in ICT and mobile cellular subscription to become the global leader in mobile money and mobile banking. Our world-famous M-Pesa mobile money platform has promoted financial inclusion in our country and provided a template for reaching conventionally unbanked populations across the region. Our potential for e-commerce and exciting new frontiers within this new economy have barely been scratched, and I invite willing business partners and investors to come in with us in these areas to access the vibrant Kenyan market as well as the wider continental market. As is known, Asia is Kenya's second largest export destination, accounting for roughly 30% of our exports. Our balance of trade is in favor of Asia, with 66% of our imports originating from the region. And therefore, to bridge that roughly 36% of trade deficit, Kenya is also seeking to grow our exports into Asia through diversification of our product range, processing of natural produce before exports, and attracting Asian companies to special economic zones in Kenya that cater for products in demand in Asia, and broadening our reach into new Asian markets. Indeed, as Kenya seeks to attract business and investors from Asia and across the globe, we continue to make significant investments in both hard infrastructure such as roads, power, generation, ports, railways, communication networks, as well as our soft infrastructure such as strong governance institutions, fair and vibrant regulatory frameworks that are responsive to the need of modern business, a fair and independent judiciary, and commercial disputes arbitration systems, and an open, inclusive society.
Well, still on matters related to business, the government lost more than 126 billion Kenya shillings in revenue in Mombasa in the last year since the introduction of the freight trains. The study by the University of Nairobi also revealed that more than 60% of employees working at the container freight stations, also known as CFSs, were sacked over the same period. The study further reveals that the coastal county is at economic decay point, with CFSs, long-distance truck and transport-related businesses such as fueling and service stations mostly affected. Presenting the assessment report on the socio-economic impact of the operationalization of the standard gauge railway, UON Acting Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Julius Ogengo, say that the study shows that the project has more negative effects on the economy of coastal people than good, sentiments echoed by leaders from the region over the past week.
Kama SGR iko hapa kwa ajili ya manufaa ya mpwani, basi SGR ingekuwa ina percentage fulani ya kubeba macontainers, alafu wale ambao wametegemea kazi hiyo kupitia matrucks na CFS zetu wakaweze kuachiwa 70% na 30% ifanywe na SGR, ili sisi kama wapwani tukaweze kujimudu.
Out of the exercise which we conducted last year, there are two forms of outcomes that we have established. The first one is on the social areas, and we had 4 key areas that we looked at in terms of social issues. The first one was on employment or gainful employment.
Iwapo mapato yatapungua katika kaunti ya Mombasa, huduma katika hospitali ile zitapungua, na zikipungua wananchi wote katika region hii wataathirika. Kwa hivyo sio jambo la Mombasa peke yake, hili ni jambo la region nzima.
Na tunaitegemea sana kwa miaka mingi. Tunaunga rais miradi yake anataka kufanyia hii nchi kuiendeleza mbele. Lakini pia tumekuja pamoja ili kusema kuwa tuhakikishe kuwa hatuachi watu wengine nyuma ama kuwaharibia uchumi zao za family na kuvunja uchumi zao kwa sababu ya mradi kama huu. Kwa hivyo tunaomba
the port would not have functioned for those many years if it were not for the transporters, for the clearing and forwarding agencies, for the CFSs, who at a point when Mombasa was known to be the most congested port came into play and gave a helping hand and created efficiency.
Well, moving on to other matters now. Development related with politics still. Interior Permanent Secretary Karanja Kibicho has accused Deputy President William Ruto of creating confusion in Kirinyaga County and asked him to keep off. Speaking at St. Peter's Gatutuini Secondary School after commissioning a borehole, Kibicho also critiqued what he termed as an obsession by a certain group of politicians with the 2022 elections, saying they should focus on delivering pledges to the electorate.
Wewe unakuja tu kuharvest, haukupanda, haukupalilia, haujui hata kama jana iliwekwa fertilizer ama iliwekwa dawa. Hii confusion tunataka kuletewa watu wa Gathudhini tukatae. Sisi tunasema tunataka maendeleo. Tunasema tunataka wale watu wanatutembelea wageni wetu wakuje waendelee na culture yetu. Sisi hatutaki confusion. Hiko vitu mingi tunaelezewa hapa, tunaletewa, tunaambiwa sijui punguza hii, ongeza hii. Sisi tunataka asubuhi tukiamka mtu anaenda kwa shamba yake. Si ni kweli? Tunataka Friday kama leo siku ya soko, mko na mandizi ya kupeleka soko. Si ni kweli? Tunataka hii barabara ikiwekwa lami, hii barabara inawekwa lami na hiyo siasa ama inawekwa na Uhuru? Si ni yeye anaweka? Tunataka barabara ikiwekwa lami, mkuwe mnaweza kufika Kagio na mnaweza enda Balisho na mnaweza enda Sagana kuuza mazao yenu. Si ndio? Sasa nataka sisi tukiwa hapa.
And now to the Kibra politics. The Amani National Congress Party leader Musalia Mudavadi has lashed out at Jubilee candidate Macnolan Mariga, saying that he is a non-starter who thinks that Kibra constituency is a showground for him. The former Deputy Prime Minister said Mariga was taking Kibra residents for a ride, given he wants to be voted when he personally has never participated in any election and won't vote for himself in the coming poll.
Jamaa ambaye hajapiga kura hata siku moja Kenya. Sasa mimi nilikuwa nasema unajua vile niliangalia Hiyo body language ya Uhuru, ingawa alikuwa anamsalamia, lakini niliona body language inaonyesha kwamba Uhuru anasema yeye anataka kwenda kufanya kazi ya nation huko New York, amalize kuja angalia mambo mengine. Hajapiga kura, hajatembea Kibira siku nyingine. Ndio hiyo tu anakuja na parachute na nyinyi mnamwangalia tu. Tarehe 7 mtamuonyesha kwamba Kibira si showground. Mimi nakwambia tukiwa na mipango mizuri na niwe na program ya 5 years, uweke 10 billion kwa water and sewerage katika Kibira. Year 1. Year 2 uongeze 10 billion kwa barabara za Kibira. Year 3 uongeze another 10 billion kwa education and health facilities katika Kibira. What will have happened to Kibira? Na mtu mmoja anapora hiyo, anaenda nayo. Na tunaweza badilisha Kibira, tubadilishe Mathare, tubadilishe Embakasi, tubadilishe Kayole, tubadilishe Dandora.
Well, still on Kibra politics, the opposition leader Raila Odinga has adopted a new political strategy ahead of the Kibra by-election to ward off an onslaught from football star McDonald Mariga and retain the seat. For the first time in his nearly 3 decades of firm grip on Kibra politics, Odinga is using the door-to-door approach in the ODM campaigns to retain the seat, as opposed to the frenzy of the public rallies his supporters are accustomed to. This weekend, ODM leaders intensified their campaign, drumming up support for Imran Okoth.
Msiwe na wasiwasi. Juzi mlipoona kwamba Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta alipowekea yule kijana, Uhuru hakutaka. Lakini kwa sababu alikuwa anataka asimamishe ile damu, walikuwa wamekula, wamemaliza. Raisi ni kuwekea Mariga na kusimamisha mahali walikuwa wanatoa pesa kuja kuanza kupea watu. Nataka niwaambie, hapa kuna pesa itakuja. Nimesikia inakuja. Tafadhali fungua mdomo, na haina lawama hiyo pesa. Ni sawa sawa. Ukikula usimwambie asante, ambia yeye leta ile nyingine. Umefanya nini? Umeiba.
Hata juzi mimi wasiwasi linishika wakati niliona Uhuru amepatia Mariga kofia. Nikakuwa na wasiwasi, nikasema kwani handshake imeisha leo? Lakini nikaona kamanda ambaye ni kigogo wetu hapa Nairobi akasema hapana, yeye kama kamanda ana support nani? Bernard. Kwa hivyo sisi kama ODM hatuna wasiwasi.
Hapa chama cha ODM hakiogopi mtu yoyote. Hatujaambia mtu yoyote asisimamishe candidate. Wewe simamisha candidate, sisi hatuna shida. Ile correction tulimake ni moja peke yake. Tulisema raundi hii tunataka kuhesabu tujue rafiki yetu ni nani na adui ni nani.
Kiti ya ubunge ya Kibra ishaamuliwa ama bado haijaamuliwa? Haijamuliwa? Imeamuliwa. Sarang'ombe hapa najua kuna shida. Na shida ni access. Moto ikitokelezea hakuna vile zimamoto ingie huko ndani. Tumeelewana? Mimi siendi kununua zimamoto. Mimi natengeneza barabara ili zimamoto ingie. Sawa? Kutoka Corner Club hivyo mpaka Mama Okinda na kwenda PAG. Lazima wana Sarang'ombe watembee kwa la. Wangapi wanakubaliana na hiyo?
Well, away from the Kibra politics now, we go to the counties where Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i on Sunday clashed with the Kericho Senator Aaron Cheriot at a funeral in Nyamira County over ouster claims. The Senator Cheriot claimed that 6 months ago, the CS secretly met with Deputy President William Ruto when he faced an impeachment motion.
Nimepita zaidi. Niseme. Unajua wakati mwingine, na ni ukweli, unajua wananchi bebi, ukiona wamekaa hivi, wako na network sana, na wanafuata ile maneno yanafanyika bunge. Karibu miezi 6 imepita, iko watu walileta mswada bunge ya fitina ambayo walikuwa wameleta kuhusu CS Matiang'i. Ati wanataka kusema sijui mambo gani, wakaleta katika Senate. Na siku hiyo nilipata simu kali sana. Simu hiyo nilipigiwa na Deputy President William Ruto. Akanisamon kwa ofisi yake, mimi kufika nikapata Deputy President na huyu CS Matiang'i yako hapa. Deputy President akaniambia mambo gani hiyo inaendelea, nikamwambia mkubwa, hiyo ni fitina ya Senator wa Homa Bay, watu wa ODM na mambo kama hiyo. Tulipofika bunge, mimi nilitoa wajumbe wote wa Jubilee nje, hiyo mswada ikaanguka chini.
Senator Cheruiyot, unajua mimi, I was raised by Christian parents. I don't lie. You have lied to my people here that you called me to a meeting with a deputy president. I have never sat in that kind of meeting. Ekiagara, omaete obochoni na buo babantu bakora taiga. Bacha gore obaraji, bacha kongaina bantu baito, ona waka ji samu ngente kabiri ngamne, obono bo chito na intimido mimi. Utaona ndani koiko. That is it. Gato kore kene, egeko garanyasaye nato che gato kwana nabantu. Naende emekone iba goteba. Abantu twali abaliri, kuzona bakuzina botorega. We are not. Tokore to uni bintu byo bwene. Aba tukande karutali eze ndo unenge ndokwana bwene. Let us be sincere and honest and treat our people with respect. Aba nainji aba karanzega atali abanda baliri tochega to bangaine to akake chisabu biri to gende. Moma yeze to aje to akaranza na Ruto, we have not debate je to karanze tiande.
Well, quite serious there. Leaders colliding in a funeral and spilling up the beans. Moving on now, we look at a story that had been gaining traction for weeks, but now has reached its peak. Just a day after the Kenya Film Classification Board boss Ezekiel Mutua challenged religious leaders to wake up from slumber and come to the rescue of the Neno Evangelism founder Pastor James Ng'ang'a, controversial televangelist was fined 1 million Kenya shillings by the Communication Authority for exposing a woman's breast on his online platform, Sasa TV. CAK relied on the sections of the Kenyan Information and Communication Act of the Broadcast Regulation to pass the verdict.
And what's that? What do you find funny? And more appalling, how does a grown-up go and sit there and watch that kind of thing? Because our children think it's okay. So these are the things we are calling out, and we hope that somebody is working on it, because if they don't, then you're inviting government regulation to the churches or to religious institutions, and it's dangerous. So NCCK, Evangelical Alliance of Kenya, the Catholic Secretariat, the Episcopal Association, and the others, please come forward and say it is not okay. Let us self-regulate, because the concept of self-regulation, even in the profession where I belong, it is having a code of ethics, you know, saying that you can't go beyond these bounds, and we will call you out as your colleagues, so that we do it to avoid government regulation. And we're asking that somebody, somewhere, will do something, and the government doesn't have to come in to regulate pastors. And so much as government should not regulate churches really in terms of the faith that believers or what believers choose to believe in, the conduct of the pastors must be called to account. You shouldn't be allowed to con people publicly in the name of a pastor, and nobody wants to talk about it. And that's why I'm saying, I think NCCK, Evangelical Association of Kenya, Alliance of Kenya, and others need to call out Pastor Ng'ang'a and have a conversation. Have a conversation. It's not against, we are not against it. We respect religious leaders.
Well, the act applied there by the Communication Authority of Kenya to fine Professor Ng'ang'a, to fine Pastor Ng'ang'a, the programming code for broadcasting prohibits the broadcasting of explicit or graphic descriptions of sexual organs, other sensitive parts of the body, and acts generally considered indecent or offensive during the watershed period is prohibited. Well, with that, we do take a break now. But when we come back, as I promised earlier, today being a Monday, we're going to talk matters politics. I'll be inviting my guest in studio who will help us do this. Let's take a short break and we'll be right back.